So now we're going to talk about how to recognize our own limiting beliefs, okay? So if someone feels stuck but isn't sure why, how can they begin to identify their limiting beliefs?
Well, I think a limiting belief often is like a little whisper that passes through our mind. It could even be the voice in our head of a parent or someone of significance. But then we take it on for ourselves. And it often occurs through defining moments. And so that could be, that on the playground, somebody did or said such and such, and how you were able to handle it then determined what you think about yourself. It could be any kind of life experience. It could be even a loss, a death of a parent or a sibling, and then what you made that mean. It's our interpretations that create the self-limiting beliefs, or the beliefs about the world and others, like whether people are generally good or generally not good, right? And then we start attracting that. But it's not like it's our fault, because if I do believe that the world is good and then something bad happens, it doesn't mean that then the world is just bad. It just means that sometimes bad things happen to good people.
True. That is true. Are there signs like procrastination, self-sabotage, perfectionism, fear of failure that often point to limiting beliefs?
I believe so, because if you don't believe that you can do it and that you can be successful, then
you're not going to get off the couch and do it.
Why would you even start?
Still going to play your video games, right?
But if you believe I can do it, and I have a plan of action, and I'm going to follow through, then probably it will be successful. And so if you are someone that currently doesn't think that you can do it, doesn't think that you will ever be able to create your dreams and be happy or happier, there are ways that we can address that and have you prove to yourself that you can have your dreams come true and that you are someone that can do it. So in therapy, we would look at how and why did you develop that belief. In coaching, we would propel you forward through the vision of your life, goals, and action steps, and then prove to yourself otherwise. And the two meet in the middle. Therapy and coaching.
True. How do these beliefs show up differently in areas like relationships, career, money, and health?
Well, in relationships, am I worthy of love? Am I a lovable person? So if you came from a loving family who was affectionate, you probably did cultivate that I am lovable, I am deserving of love. But what if you were abandoned as a child? Maybe you feel like no one wants me, no one cares about me, I'm not lovable. And so then there's more work to do, because of course you're lovable. Right.
And do you think that's why some people bury themselves in work? At work?
Tunnel vision. To not have to deal with all of our emotions. Become a workaholic.
Yes, I think so. I think so, yeah. I think there's something there that they're avoiding. So it's at work.
Yeah, that could be very true. Or overly ambitious.
True.
Or a combination.
So once we recognize limiting beliefs, what's the next step to change it?
Well, there are various ways that we can reframe our thoughts. So what is a belief? It's something that we tell ourselves over and over again.
Till we believe it.
Right? So if I tell myself negative, unhealthy thinking patterns, like catastrophizing and black and white thinking, just always thinking the worst can happen, or having a mental filter, for instance, that I only see or believe what I think in the moment. And then I ignore all the other facts and evidence. That could be an unhealthy thinking pattern, right?
Oh, yeah.